Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to go back a little bit because there's some things that I kind of missed on day 28 and 29 got good at the very end, but it was just like, wow, was not expecting that in the least until it happened. And then I was like, well, yeah, it's par for the course. Okay, so day 28, kind of the end of the day. Um, Brennan was being his usual self. And Brennan, for all those who don't know, is the new prosecutor in this trial. Lawley, Adam Lawley, was the first prosecutor, but he did such a poor job that he's now, I guess what they say, second chair. Okay. So on day 28, um, okay, so they had Dr. Wolf on the stand, right? And you think, okay, Hank is just being himself. And then he throws a curveball that I wasn't expecting. Okay. So he goes into, were you being truthful about your involvement with the defense before this thing started? Yeah, I think I've been okay. You know what confirmation bias is? Yes, I believe I do. Do you think you have any confirmation bias against this case? No. Um, okay, well, do you have any family members, close family, that supports either one side or the other side? Okay. And he says no. And so I'm thinking in my head, okay, what is he trying to get at? Like, what is his not even methodology, but what's his end goal here? So it comes out. He's like, well, the prosecutor asks, well, what about your wife? And he says, my wife. Well, yeah, doesn't do you know what she posts on social media? No, I don't. Do you know what her thoughts are on the case? No, I don't know what her thoughts are. So I'm like, what are you trying to do? He's trying to, well, I have two schools of thought here. One, I think he was trying to piss off Dr. Wolf to get him off balance, so maybe he'd say something that he didn't intend to say. Or he was trying to impeach his wife's documents through him. But that's not the way you do that, okay? The word impeach in this instance means that you try to verify, or basically you're trying to catch someone in a lie, okay? Because say somebody testifies in a trial and they say that somebody did something, okay? And then they testify in a second trial and they say something different, that person didn't do something. Then the attorney can go back and say, but wait a minute. In trial one, didn't you say that you thought he did something? And then now you're saying he didn't do anything? So which is a true statement? That's what you're supposed to do. But you're supposed to impeach the person on their own statements, not the way he was doing it. That's problem number one. Okay, so we go to yesterday. Also, kind of toward the end of the day. Um, so Alan Jackson had asked him all these questions about holes in the sweatshirt, and because what they had done is the ARCA had bought or had, they call him as a dummy, like crash test dummy, but they call it something else. But then they also have a name for it called Rescue Randy. Okay. So they also got the exact same sweatshirt and everything else that John O'Keefe was supposedly wearing the night of the incident, right? Okay. So they go through all these tests, and he's talking about the damage to the sweatshirt, the holes and everything, and the fact that on the back there were no holes at all in the sweatshirt. And Alan Jackson says, "Why do you think that is?" And he says, "Well, I think it was because the dummy fell on his stomach, like, and not on his back. So there would be no damage to the sweatshirt on the back, right?" Okay, so come out later, way later, that they had tampered, the prosecution had tampered with the sweatshirt and made it look like there were holes in the back. But you could tell that it was doctored. It wasn't normal holes and damage. It was like somebody had to do something to create the damage. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what happened yesterday. And that was like, oh, wow. Wow. I mean, I knew they were like against Karen Reed, obviously. But I just didn't think they'd go that low. Okay. So today, they had on, well, another thing is before today, they had to have or the judge had to think about letting Andrew Rentschler, which is the partner of Dr. Wolf, testify in the trial, right? Okay, so apparently it takes her a couple days to figure it out and whatever. Okay, so today they had on the witness that was another expert, but her job is a pathologist. The one I said that was Dr. La Posada. Okay. And I said it was asinine that she should have to go through a voir because she has 40 years experience here. And I said, why are they putting her through this? So yeah. Okay. And for anybody who doesn't know what a pathologist is, a quick definition is someone who examines someone's body after they've unalived. Okay. It's not quite the medical examiner, but they also look at the body and tell you what they think caused said injuries. Okay. That's part of what they do. Like, that's, I guess, if not their specialty, at least the main part of it, right? Okay. So she goes through all the medical stuff, which is what I didn't watch today. And she was on the stand for a long time. They were in trial today for 7 hours. She was on the stand for 6 hours. No joke. Because I kept waiting for her to get off the stand because I was trying to get past the gross testimony. So she just said the main point, besides all the medical stuff, she said that there's no way he could have died from hypothermia, which totally negates the whole he was left in the snow to die, which was their original premise. Okay. So that's out. And then she says, well, all his injuries are consistent with blunt force head trauma to the head. Blunt force trauma to the head, which to me means a fight or something else, you know. And then also, okay, so you might say, okay, but it can still be a car, right? That's where Rentschler comes in. Okay, so they finally get off the stand with the La Posada, and I'm like, all right. So then they have Dr. Rentschler, and he goes through the whole, well, I think that so-and-so caused the injuries, said injuries to the body. That's his specialty here. Okay, so they ask him, they say, are the injuries consistent with what would happen if you're in a crash? He says, no. the injuries are not consistent with being hit by a car at certain speeds. So that negates the whole argument of a car being involved in what happened, which is what I said from day one. I said that, and also he said that if it was a car accident that caused it, you would see a lot more multiple injuries on the body. And the only injuries we see are the ones to under the eyes, like he got raccoon eyes, and one to the something else, and then to the arm. It's a few things to the face, but mostly to the arm. And the things on the face you can't see because other than the raccoon eyes, they're all like skull things. So what happens is, from my understanding, and I am no way a medical or any kind of professional like that, but they said it's all on the skull. So what I'm saying is, we all have skull, right? But we're all covered by hair, most of us. You know what I mean? So if you have skull, whatever, you're not going to see it with the naked eye. And yeah, so I still say that something happened in the house, the Albert house, and then somebody tried to cover it up. Or the dog, or, okay, but this is like a two-part thing, okay? Something happened in the house. The dog was trying to protect the owner, and that's how the injuries on the arm occurred. The ones that look like dog bites or dog things, because the dog attacked him. Because also talked about this before, but just so happens that after this happened, they rehomed the dog. They had the dog for 7 years, around 7 years. So then the question is, why would they rehome their family pet? They had to have a reason, right? So it all fits together. And I've already given the possibility of the accident, but all the injuries are not consistent with a car crash, car accident. That's what I said. So I don't know. Sorry, I'm passionate about this because I watched the first part and said, "What?" Now I'm watching the second one and going, "See," but I don't know if the jury sees all this and is taking the notes and stuff. I mean, I know they're taking some notes, but it's all in the jury's hands at the end of the day. So, all right, bye guys.